Did you just come, are you here now? Anybody in the chat? Hey, are you there, Ari? Here, I'll go and DM you. Maybe you're on your Instagram. I was a little bit late. I got sidetracked by a burrito. A black bean burrito, to be precise. Welcome back to the Chammy, the only channel on YouTube where you can find a mostly professional tarot card reading brought to you by Madame Pramita in the Parlor of Wonders from my haunted house in a creepy graveyard. Today's special is the buy one, get one free. You can get a $1 yes or no. And then you'll get a free one too. You can get a $6 taco box. Any reading that is available under the description is there for your pleasure. So you know how I can help you. Welcome back, sweetheart. How are you? I'm just gonna be listening to a friend's messages real quick. Only take about a minute or so. So I'm gonna put the sound on mute for just a minute. But I'm here. Isn't it great to be off work? I'm sorry, I don't do free readings. The only way you can get a free reading is if you buy one. That's why it's in the title. It says buy one, get one free tarot. But if you'd like to ask a question about tarot, a question about manifestations like law of assumption, law of attraction, I'm gonna just ask a general question like that is fine. But I'm not one. I don't do free tarot card readings, sweetheart. I apologize. I'm fantastic. You can win a free reading if you play the game with us, Surprise Jack. If there's enough people in the chat to play Surprise Jack, then you know you might win the free reading. Thanks so much for understanding. So it's only $1 for a free yes or no question. It's $6 for up to 3 questions, 6+ cards, 6+ minutes, whatever comes first. You can get an 11/11 love reading, a $15 XXX love reading, a $20 past, present, future, a $30 general. But every reading you buy, $1 gets you 1+ minutes. So Even if you get the $1 yes or no, you know, you'll get more than one card, and you'll probably get more than an answer, more than a yes or no answer. And every reading is buy one, get one free. Yes, I see you, little hummingbirds. I see you. I'm gonna have one sit on my head here in a minute. Thanks so much for coming by and hanging out for a moment, to ask a question. But if you have any questions about tarot or law of assumption, law of attraction, law of expectation, please feel free to ask. Okay, I've got the sound back on so we can chat. Welcome back, Ari. Welcome back, dear. Oh, that's awesome. 2 days off. I love that. I can't wait till I can have 2 days off. I probably won't have a day off till sometime at like closer to the end of September. I mean, unless like by some miracle I win the lottery or some of my stuff sells on eBay. Oh, do they make you work every weekend? I hate that. That is the most annoying sound ever. It sounds like my neighbor is tearing down his house. The manager told me he needs me for weekends. Like, no, how about you hire more people? How about that? Yeah, that sucks. They always do that shit. You know, and the company might be limited to who, and not to who, but what they can afford to hire. Have you been looking for any other jobs, like any have you thought of like the makeup counter in Macy's, or getting a job at Macy's? God, do they even still have Macy's? Let's check. You did. You used to work at Macy's. What happened? Did it just not work out? Oh, only one Macy's in the city. So I guess the hummingbird wants to eat out of the feeder, but it's like afraid of me or something. Or it's not that it's afraid of me, it's that the neighbor across the street keeps making strange noises, and maybe it thinks I'm making those strange noises. You know, because they can't tell the difference between a feeder and a flower. So sometimes they even confuse me as a flower because of my hair. So it makes me wonder, you know, what else do they get confused by? Like, they can't tell the difference. Maybe they can't tell the difference between the sound over there echoing back over here. Maybe they think it's me. They suddenly switched you to a different position after you were working at a cash register there for only 2 weeks. Didn't even get much time to get used to the cashier position. Interesting. Oh wow. How many hours do you work now? They couldn't work on the hours they had, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, this hummingbird definitely wants me to leave his territory, or her territory. That's so interesting. Sorry, I was not ignoring you. I just was trying to stay a little bit quiet while that hummingbird was trying to eat. Look, it just flew behind me. Wonder when the last time was it came back to the camera. Yeah, that's interesting how like the grocery store wasn't like, oh, you're slow, but Macy's was saying that you were like not capable. Probably you were capable. It's just that whoever was the manager is not a very good manager. Sometimes people will look for a poor, lame excuse just to fire you because they feel threatened. Or they feel that their friends in the company might be, you know, threatened. Gosh, it's a little bit hot out here, so I gotta put my hair up. I worked for a rather large music store that was very rude to me and told me, oh, you're not making enough for whatever we need you to make. Even though I was working full time. And the guy's like, but I'll let you keep your job and I won't fire you if you give me some head. I was 16 years old. Oh, I was like, yeah, I'm leaving. And then he got his own store somewhere, and then he lost it because he was making sexual advantages at other people as well. It was very strange, for sure. And it was very absolutely disgusting. It was really depressing too, because I really liked that job. Yeah, karma's a bitch, yeah. And, you know, and at that time, I'm not, you know, I don't know that in the room he was, I don't know that that if in the room that he was in, that we were talking in, even had cameras or any kind of stuff like that. Cause you know how they'll have like surveillance cameras, but you can't like hear, you can only see what's going on the surveillance camera. Let's see if I can turn off the subscribers only to the chat from my phone. Two hummingbirds fighting over feeders. I'm just here. I'm not gonna. You can eat. I'm the one that feeds you. Yeah, I'm gonna have to step away for a moment because it won't let me do it on the. I don't think it'll let. I wonder if it'll let me do it from the studio here. Let me check. I have to change it from the laptop. I'll be right back. Okay, just giving the laptop a chance to boot up. I had a phone call from a girl today. I don't know if she's a girl, but I mean, she's a woman like us. She's probably older than us, but yeah, I think she's older than us. She says whatever she's been going through, she's been going on for a very long time. With this man that she's in love with. He's in Egypt, he's Muslim, but he's like a lapsed Muslim, kind of like a lapsed Catholic. Like he doesn't really practice. It's just like what he was, you know, raised in. And I think his mom is a nurse. Like she's like a nurse or a doctor or something. So it's like he really thinks outside the box about his Muslimness. And once again, he's a lapsed Muslim. Like he's more of a modernized kind of Muslim, she said, than the kind that it's old-fashioned in the sense that they would rather their women be home tending to the sheep. Is what she said. I was like, okay, I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know. But if that's how it was at one point in time in his life, and he became lapsed, I guess that's great. But she's like, he wants to take care of her. He wants her to move in. If she wanted to work and pursue her career, she could. If she didn't really want to, he would take care of her too. But you know, she's like, for 3 weeks now, she's like, I've been using the law of assumption, you know, to manifest him to communicate with me. She's like, and nothing's working. She's like, I've just been sitting around, you know, doing my affirmations, writing it down, affirming, blah, blah. I'm like, because you don't need any of that stuff. It's already yours. It's already happened. Just because you've, you know, desired it. And I guess she went to Etsy to get a tarot card reading just to see what the energy update was, and it was terrible. And I said, that's because you're obviously talking to a tarot card reader that you don't have a connection with, that probably does not practice law of assumption. And if they're telling you that you can't have it, I said, I'm sorry, but that's just not the truth. If they're saying it's over between you and him, I said, that's just not the truth. I said, in fact, the reading I got for you today doesn't say anything about it being over with you both. She's like, but it feels like it is because, you know, he hasn't reached out and it's been 6 weeks and I want him to reach out. And I'm like, I understand that you want him to reach out. I'm like, and that very well could manifest. I said, but waiting around for it and driving yourself crazy about it and then saying maybe it's going to happen and then saying it's not working, you're really confusing the universe at the end of the day. And then you're confusing yourself, and then you're getting into, I made her laugh. I said, then you're turning into a lapsed master manifestor. I said, because you're getting into the maybes, you're getting into the doubt, you're getting lost and spiraling out because of what somebody said about some tarot card reading you didn't resonate with. I said, when you get a tarot card reading from a reader you don't know, it doesn't resonate, it doesn't mean that that's what's happening or that's what's going to happen. Because at the end of the day, the cards can't do it for you. They're only there to tell you what you need to know now. I think I did uplift her and that she felt a lot better about the situation. I told her, pick a tarot card reader that you resonate with. I'm like, and just stick with it. I said, because you keep going from tarot card, you go for me, you go to the Etsy girl, you go to this one, you go to that one. I said, and really nobody's keeping up with your diary of love except for me. I said, and you talked to me several times throughout this year. I'm like, and every time you talk to me and you take my advice, it works. I'm like, so stop waiting around for him to communicate. Stop waiting around for him to take the initiative. I said, I know every girl wants every man to take the initiative. I said, but you know what? I said, if Queen Victoria had waited around for her husband to ask her to marry him, I'm like, we might not even have a monarchy right now. And that was clear over in the 1800s when she did that. I said, sometimes you just have to take the bull by the horns. You have to tell them what you want and ask how they want to operate around that. Even if it's just a simple friendship, before you start spiraling out and turning them into a monster in your head and getting these visions of shit that isn't even happening and probably never will. And then you're spiraling out and not able to get through the day. But, I mean, I get a lot of clients that happens to. Or I'll get clients that are like, they don't listen. They just keep the same rinse, repeat, recycle shit going on. Man, seeing these hummingbirds dive each other is hilarious. I mean, they're literally chasing each other around, fighting over a feeder when there's 3 of them. Okay. Oh, hi, baby. Welcome back. I'm not going to take your feeder from you, but I am going to refill it pretty soon, so get a nice cold drink. I made them some fresh nectar, so I'm surprised with all the flowers in the neighborhood and all the bugs available. They keep coming back. I keep getting scared away by the sound across the street, too. No room for mistakes or misunderstandings at the grocery store. One wrong move and your job will be in jeopardy. Wow. That sounds really frustrating. See, that's why I started my own business, because I knew I couldn't go back to Hooters after the car accident. I knew that I couldn't go back to Waffle House after the car accident. I knew that I couldn't even go back to school physically at the time. And I was able to do the tarot schooling and get my certification for that, and then do the death dueling thing because I could learn from the laptop while I was recovering. I don't know if I'm still recovering. I still have a lot of problems with the car accident, and I need to go to a neurologist about my brain tumors and see where I am with that. But I mean, I know what the doctors say about my brain tumors, but I've just been like, what brain tumors? What? I'll be right back. I gotta fix something about the line. I'll be right back. Hello, cutie pies. But they finally settled down to eat at the feeder, and they get scared off by the dog next door. I'm back. I turned off subscribers only mode, so any creeps come by, please block them. can't drink the rest of that coffee. A mosquito just came out of it. Yeah, I don't know if I could work in a supermarket. That would make me a little bit crazy. Oh, I love nature. It's a vital part of it. So what supermarket were you working at? Maybe trying a supermarket that is a little bit more proactive and less proactive. Like, I don't know. I feel like maybe working at places like Sprouts, Whole Foods, a nutrition store maybe would be, a little better or something like that. But I feel like, people I've known that like work at Walmart, Kroger and your average supermarket aren't very happy. Oh.
Well, it is better if it's cold, but it's not. It just, that come from the fields, you know, warm.
Okay. It smells like freshly mowed grass.
That's what it is. You don't want it?
I do. It looks like you want it.
Oh, I got something. These are notes.
I don't know, Neil's doing something to his house again. Oh my god, bugs. I don't know if I can eat this watermelon out here. I'm gonna take a 5-minute break and I'll be right back. some food, but stay out of the feeder, and I'll get you some water too. Too many mosquitoes. Excuse me. Hey Zenia, how are you today? You no longer react to mosquito bites? Wow. I definitely react to them. I hate them. It's not too bad out here, but it's still kind of annoying. To say the least. I wonder why. I wonder what changed. Maybe, just maybe what you eat, or over time you built a resistance to the prehistoric beasts from Texas that might live there. I don't know. It's very interesting though. definitely will complain about it. Interesting. Yeah, what's up with that creepy white man with a broken window driving through the neighborhood? Feels suspicious. Yeah, I'm just to the point where it's like, I'm probably gonna have to go in because of all these darn bugs. And it's been pretty dead here on YouTube this afternoon. But maybe it always is, and I just didn't realize it till now. Well, one tarot card reader has 400, another one has 60, another one has 146, another one 300, another one 50, another one 100. I don't know. Oh well, I'll be back. Alright, I'm gonna go.